Another thing
That
that I don't think a lot of people know is that
Mm.
most people think that most of the oxygen that we get is from the plants. Yes, we do get oxygen from the
Oh
plants,
yeah.
but most of
Yeah.
it is actually from the ocean.
Mm.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
so
So
people
you're
think
out here
of
just
that a
killing your
lot.
own breathing system. Just yeah, just go kill it. Kill
basically,
it.
you're basically
yeah,
just killing your own breathing system. Yes, you
exactly,
are
exactly.
literally killing your one source of breath. You won't be able to breathe without the ocean,
Yeah,
which
And I
is
yeah,
think
very
it's one of the few things that you also learn from life science that you can't just destroy the ocean. You live within the ocean, so
yeah,
Especially us, because we're all very beachside coastal towns and like
we are.
like cities and
Yeah,
stuff. We rely heavily, or at least we used to rely heavily on the ocean. We still do rely heavily on it,
very
but
much
like
do. Yeah, I think a
but
lot
that's
less.
where like overfishing and other stuff comes up. But that's why it's important to take care of it, because if we have just a body of water that does nothing, it's gonna be the end for us. There's no more food, there's no
Yeah,
more air, there's no more life.
essentially. To
yes,
just
yes.
yeah,
talk about that point, something that I do remember from my school, from my days of learning life science and whatnot. And
Life lessons.
apologies if this has been updated or not. I'm sorry if this is out of date or anything like that. But from what I remember is there is a very specific type of, I think, phytoplankton that is what mainly creates a lot of the oxygen and whatnot and absorbs a lot of the sunlight. It does something similar to photosynthesis, but not the same. And that
Mm.
is where we get a lot of the oxygen because of that microbacteria. But the thing about that is they are very sensitive to environmental changes as well because they're like incredibly tiny and they live at a microscopic level. So any changes to the oceans, whether it be ocean temperatures changing or pH changing, that actually negatively affects them in a huge way. And that drop within that population can actually drastically affect one, the ecosystem, as in
mm,
those whales and other creatures which would feast on the phytoplankton, but also their contribution towards the oxygen in the atmosphere as well.